Welcome to ESL's Go4SC2 number 45 finals, sponsored by Steel Series, and this is going to be Game 3, casted by Kessel Gamer. And today we're going to have a game between Darkforce, who's going to be spawning as the blue Zerg at the bottom left, and he's going to be playing against BratOK, who's going to be spawning as the yellow Terran at the top right. And it is finished lagging now. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, my computer, for stopping the lag, because I don't think anyone enjoys watching very schizophrenic units going all over the place. And it looks like this is Game 3 between Darkforce and BratOK. And as you remember, if you did watch Game 1 and 2, that Game 1, BratOK was able to defeat Darkforce by taking advantage of that small window that he'd had to take out Darkforce's expansion. And then BratOK just losing in Game 2 to Darkforce's massive macro force that he had the advantage of, he took advantage of the map. And now this is Game 3, and it looks like this is at least going to be going to Game 4. Both players are starting to wall off, or at least BratOK is, because Zergs can't wall off early on. Building that barracks and supply depot on that ramp, and this is going to be Delta Quadrant. And this is an interesting map because there is a relatively safe expansion over on both sides, or on all four sides anyway, and it looks like both players are going to be spawning as far as possible from each other. And we'll see how the terrain difference here will be used. And it looks like a refinery going up for BratOK, and he looks like he's going relatively the same build as he went last time. Meanwhile, it looks like Darkforce not opting for that early hatchery anymore and getting that spawning pool instead. So we're going to see a relatively similar build coming out of BratOK unless he switches things up. And he hasn't switched anything up, so I'm going to assume the same build. But Darkforce getting that spawning pool early this time, not getting that hatchery. And we'll see how this will affect Darkforce's play. This could be a game changer because BratOK has been playing the same, both games going the same build, going the very similar build order. But hey, if it works, why fix it? But it didn't work last game, so I wonder if he is going to switch things up. But he isn't switching things up. He is getting just enough gas to build that factory. So we're going to see a very similar play, and there we go. Another factory goes up for BratOK. Meanwhile, Darkforce does have a couple lings right now, and he did get enough for ling speed, and he pulled all of his gas miners to mine minerals instead. So it looks like Darkforce is going to go a very heavy Zergling build instead. But this could be bad because being walled off here gives BratOK a huge advantage against these lings. So it looks like a hatchery now going up for Darkforce, now opting to get that hatchery after the spawning pool. And that SCV is, will he be able to spot that that hatchery? He's gonna try and run away, but that SCV does manage to take out. Let me see if he did see that hatchery. I don't think so. No, he didn't. So he does not know that Darkforce has an extra hatchery over here, and Darkforce will be able to macro a little bit better. But he is starting to build a command center over here, and he is starting to take out those Marines. Or those Marines are going to start taking out that rock, because that rock has no way of taking out those Marines. That would be cool though, like just like a Titan coming out of the rocks over here, just stomping all over those Marines. That would be a great way to earn that expansion, that extra minerals. But this is not Shadow of the Colossus. This is StarCraft 2, so much disappointment there. Anyway, Darkforce continuing to build drones, and he is just droning up like crazy. He has no regard for building units right now. He just wants to get his economy to a massive amount, and it looks like Hellions are starting to come out. And the command center is almost done, and the rocks is probably going to get destroyed after that command center is being built. And BratOK going once again the same build, 2 barracks, 3 barracks factory. I'm just going to call this the BratOK build from now on. Yeah, I think the BratOK build, the 3 barracks and factory. I officially coined this and patented this. No one steals it. It looks like a Roach Warren going up for BratOK, or for Darkforce. I'm sorry, I'm getting all confused up here. And he is getting Lair Tech as well. So we're going to see a little bit of change over here. Instead of Banelings, we're going to see Roaches. And it looks like that command center is finally landed in the most opportune, most optimal area for mass production of minerals, or mass harvesting of minerals anyway. Wrong verb. And it looks like Marines and Hellions are starting to move out, and there is a lot of Hellions over here, so this could be real trouble for Darkforce. Darkforce doesn't have sufficient forces over here. He does have 2 queens, he does have a spine crawler over here. That's not going to be enough, and BratOK is going to try and get these Hellions inside Darkforce's base, and Darkforce is just wondering what he's going to do with this. And those Marines are going to get on that ramp, and they're going to have a little bit of an anti-queen sandwiched in. And those Lings just can't surround those forces. And oh, 1 Hellion does go down, but those Hellions are not going to have free reign over here. The Marines are going to try and take out one of these queens, and one of the queens do go down, but the Marines all die. The Hellions over here are starting to burn away at the drones. They do manage to take a couple of these drones. Meanwhile, Darkforce does know that this expansion is here. He does know this is dangerous for him, because Terran on 2 base early can be very, very dangerous, because they can produce a lot of units in a short amount of time. And BratOK getting that starport now. Man, this is the exact same game as I've been seeing. BratOK has been playing the exact same build 3 games in a row. Usually you see players of that high caliber switch it up a little bit just to throw him off, but it looks like he's going the same build. But he is getting that tech lab early this time, and he is getting a tech lab and 2 reactors once again on those barracks. And we'll see if he does anything with that starport other than build medevacs, but I am going to assume that he's building medevacs. And Banelings and Aspire going up, so BratOK, or Darkforce, now going a very similar build. I mean, it worked last time, why not do it again? I would like to see Darkforce destroy these rocks over here and get a 3rd expansion, or a 2nd expansion. That would be a huge advantage to him, but he is starting to take out the rocks at the high yield. And it looks like a ping goes down, and it looks like one of the players noticed this, so this could be a huge advantage. Those Hellions are starting to move forward and try to take out one of the creep tumors, but that creep tumor is going to disappear just in time. Meanwhile, the Lings are going to get pulled off, and that rocks hasn't been destroyed yet. Those Lings are going to try and take out those Hellions, and they do manage to get us around and take out those Hellions. Meanwhile, BratOK just continuing to build up, and he is getting no siege tanks. He is getting a couple medevacs though, and he isn't building an armory. He is getting, oh wait, yes, he is building an armory. Armory is over here right next to the refinery, because I'm blind. And another command center going up for BratOK. So it looks like BratOK is going to go a very macro heavy build this time and try and keep up the macro along with Darkforce. And Darkforce better keep up as well, because he is just continuing to build units. He is getting a couple of mutas, and there are a lot of Marines though, so there's no problem here for now. But there are no missile turrets over here in the expansion that BratOK has over here, so this is going to be a huge advantage for Darkforce. He's going to start moving out those mutas, and those mutas are flying over, and you're going to see what's going on. And there are no expansions going out for Darkforce anywhere else right now. He's going to try and snipe out the SCV. It looks like Darkforce taking another couple, or the rocks over at the high yield over here, so he's going to try and get both high yields, and those birds are just going to come up just in time and push those mutas away. So BratOK, great game, or seeing those mutas, getting those missile turrets just in time, and now those mutas are rendered useless for now. But if he, once again, if he gets that critical amount of mutalisks, if he gets those, he is getting expansions at both of the high yields. But a scan does go down, and BratOK knows what's going on. He knows this is very, very dangerous, and if he doesn't take out those expansions, and if they start really mining, he's going to be overwhelmed by this huge Zerg swarm. And it looks like a queen coming over here to reinforce here, and this is actually a really good expansion, because it is a huge coverage area. It is a very, very good choke point. And it looks like there are massive amounts of Banelings and Zerglings just guarding the xel'naga watchtower, and now Darkforce has complete map control right now, and he's just spreading that creep all over the place. He has a couple mutas flying just all over the place to see if he can get anything out of it. Siege mode has, I believe, yes, it has finished, and he is continuing to build siege tanks, and he is getting more medevacs, and he is getting another factory. So he does have that armory up, and we might see a couple Thors. It would be a smart thing to get a couple Thors, and BratOK is going to get a couple of these Marines inside that medevac to do a drop over at the high yield over here. But there are a lot of Lings, and they can move really fast, and those Banelings are also very, very destructive. Will he be able to notice? The creep art is going to be able to notice most of these, and it looks like BratOK or Darkforce is content to just sit there and not do anything. A couple of drop going on over here with a lot of siege tanks and a lot of Marines, and they're going to be able to start shelling away over at this expansion. It's going to be in range of that hatchery, and they're going to start taking a lot of these drones. Meanwhile, a drop going down over here, and they do manage to take out a lot of these units, and those Lings are trying to take out. Oh man, but those that medevac was taken out, so he isn't going to be able to do much. But this siege tank is going to continue shelling away at these units over here. And there are a lot of Marines guarding this siege tank, so now Darkforce won't be able to do anything, and it looks like BratOK managed to get his expansion over here. Meanwhile, he does have a Marine